The small lab hummed with machines. Dr. Tasung rubbed his tired eyes and looked at the screen again. For 3 weeks, he had been studying strange signals from deep space. Today was different. Today, the pattern changed. This can't be right, he said to himself. Taesung was tall and thin. His dark hair fell across his forehead as he leaned closer to the screen. He worked in a secret research center hidden in the mountains of South Korea. Most people thought they just studied stars there. They did much more. He picked up his phone and called Dr. Jure. She was the best person he knew at finding patterns in things that seemed random. Jure, can you come to Lab 6? I found something strange. 20 minutes later, Jure stood next to him. She was shorter than Taesung. With short black hair and glasses, she stared at the screen. These aren't random, she said after a long time. These signals have a pattern, a clear pattern. She pointed to parts of the data. See how this repeats, and this part here changes in steps. Nature doesn't do that. Taesung felt his heart beat faster. So you think? Someone made these signals, Juri said. Her voice was quiet but excited. Someone sent them. Someone not from Earth. They worked through the night. By morning, they had pulled more data. The patterns became clearer. They weren't just signals. They were instructions. We need to tell someone, Taesung said. By noon, Captain Do-hyun arrived at the lab. He wore a neat military uniform and had a serious face. He was from Korean military intelligence. Explain it simply, he told them. Juri pointed to a large screen. These signals come from a point beyond Neptune. They repeat every 4.3 hours. We think they are instructions for building something. Building what? Do-hyun asked. We aren't sure yet, Taesung said. But look at this part. He showed a complex diagram they had made from the signals. This looks like it could be a power source, something we've never seen before. Do-hyun's face showed no emotion, but his eyes narrowed. Could another country on Earth make these signals? No, both scientists said together. The signal comes from too far away, Taesung explained. And the math in it. It's not like our math. It's more elegant. Do-hyun made a call. He spoke quietly, then turned back to them. You will tell no one about this. You will work only on this project now. I will bring more people to help you. 3 days later, the lab had 10 more scientists. They worked day and night. Slowly, they began to understand the signals. It's like a puzzle, Juri told Taesung late one night. They were alone in the lab. Like someone wants us to figure it out, but only if we're smart enough. But why send it to us? Taesung asked. Why Earth? Juri shook her head. I don't know. But I think we're about to change everything we know about the universe. On the 10th day, they had their breakthrough. Juri ran into Taesung's office, her eyes wide. We did it. We figured out the first part. On her tablet was a 3-dimensional model. It rotated slowly, showing a device unlike anything humans had built before. What is it? Taesung asked, staring at the strange design. I think, Juri said slowly, it's a communication device. And if we build it right, someone will answer. Captain Do-hyun watched from the doorway. His face showed nothing, but his mind raced with possibilities. If aliens wanted to talk to humans, what did they want to say? And was his country ready to hear it? Build it, he said simply. Build it now. 2 weeks passed. The lab grew busy with people and machines. Taesung barely slept. Neither did Juri. They worked to build the strange device from the alien plans. Almost done, Taesung said. His hand shook slightly as he connected the last few parts. The device looked simple from the outside, just a metal box with a curved top. Inside, it was like nothing humans had ever made. Captain Do-hyun watched from across the room. 4 other military officers stood with him. They all looked tense. Will it work? Do-hyun asked. Juri shrugged. We followed the plans exactly, but we don't know what it will do. Tae-sung stepped back. It's ready. Everyone in the room held their breath. Tae-sung pressed the small button on top of the device. Nothing happened. Maybe we made a mistake, Juri said, disappointment in her voice. Then the air above the device began to shimmer. A soft blue light formed. It grew larger, shaped like a bubble. Inside the bubble, a face appeared. It wasn't a human face. It had large, almond-shaped eyes that glowed slightly. Its skin was pale blue. It had no hair, and its head was longer than a human's. I am Koldar, the alien said. Its voice was deep but clear. It spoke perfect Korean, which shocked everyone. Do-hyun stepped forward. How do you speak our language? Your internet is easy to access, Koldar said. I have studied your world for some time. Tae-sung found his voice. Who are you? Why did you send us those plans? The alien's expression was hard to read. I am a voidwalker. My people have watched your species for centuries. Are you here to invade? Do-hyun asked sharply. Koldar made a sound that might have been a laugh. No, if we wanted that, you would never have seen us coming. Then why contact us now? Juri asked. Because it is time, Koldar said. Time you knew the truth. Your world is not alone, but it is isolated. The Galactic Council has marked Earth as a developing world. They have quarantined your solar system. Galactic Council. Tae-sung asked. Who are they? 32 advanced species who control most of this galaxy, Koldar explained. They decide which new species can join them. They decided long ago that humans were too violent, too unpredictable to join. The room was silent. The humans looked at each other, trying to process this news. Why are you telling us this? Do-hyun asked. Why help us? Because the council is wrong, Koldar said. They fear what they don't understand. My people disagree with their policy of keeping worlds isolated. We believe all species should have a chance to grow. So you're breaking their rules? Juri asked. Yes, Koldar admitted. What I am doing is forbidden. If they discover I have contacted you, there will be consequences. What do you want from us? Tae-sung asked. Nothing, Koldar said. I offer knowledge, technology, a chance for humanity to skip centuries of development, a chance to defend yourselves when the council eventually notices you. This is a lot to take in, Do-hyun said carefully. How do we know we can trust you? Koldar's strange face showed something like sadness. You don't, but consider this. I could have contacted your military leaders directly. Instead, I sent plans that only your scientists could understand. I don't want to give you weapons. I want to give you choices. The blue light flickered slightly. Our time grows short, Koldar said. The council might detect this communication. I will send more plans. Build what I send you. Then you will understand. Wait, Tae-sung started to say. But the blue light vanished. The alien was gone. The humans stood in silence, staring at the small metal box. Everything they knew about the universe had just changed forever. What do we do now? Juri asked quietly. Do-hyun pulled out his phone. Now I call the president. And may the heavens help us all. 1 month after meeting Koldar, the lab had changed. It was now 3 times bigger. More than 50 scientists worked there. The government had named it Project Dawn. Tae-sung stood in the main room, looking at the newest device they had built. It was a round metal disc about 1 meter wide. Strange blue lights pulsed inside it. Is it working? Asked Colonel Mi-jin. She had replaced Captain Do-hyun last week. She was taller than him, with short hair and a face that rarely smiled. We think so, Tae-sung said, but we're not completely sure what it does yet. Juri walked up with a clipboard. According to Koldar's plans, it's a shield generator, but not like any shield we've ever imagined. Colonel Mi-jin picked up a pen from a nearby desk. Show me. Ju-Rai pressed a button on a small remote. The disk hummed louder. A faint blue glow spread around it, forming a bubble about 3 meters wide. "Throw the pen at it," Ju-Rai said. Mei-Jin tossed the pen at the bubble. Instead of bouncing off, the pen slowed down. It moved as if it was going through thick honey. Then it stopped in midair and just hung there. "It doesn't just block things," Tai-Sung explained. "It changes how time works inside the field. Anything moving fast slows down until it stops." Mei-Jin's eyes widened slightly. "Can it stop bullets?" "Bullets, missiles, probably even laser beams," Ju-Rai said. "We haven't tested everything yet, but the math suggests it could stop almost anything." "This changes everything," Mei-Jin said quietly. "How big can you make it?" Tai-Sung frowned. "You're thinking of weapons." "I'm thinking of protection," Mei-Jin corrected him. "If the Galactic Council decides Earth is a problem, we need to be ready." A young man walked into the room. He wore jeans and a t-shirt, looking out of place among the lab coats and uniforms. This was Hejun, an engineering genius the government had brought in last week. "I think I can make it better," Hejun said. He was only 26, but already had 3 advanced degrees. "How?" Ju-Rai asked. Hejun pulled out a tablet and showed them his designs. "The alien technology uses principles we never thought of, but now that I see how it works, I can make it smaller, more efficient." "How much smaller?" Mei-Jin asked. Hejun smiled. "Small enough to fit on a person, or a vehicle, maybe even a plane." Mei-Jin nodded. "Do it." 2 weeks later, Hejun had built the first portable shield. It was the size of a large watch. Tai-Sung wore it on his wrist during the test. "Are you sure about this?" Ju-Rai asked, looking worried. "We need to know if it works," Tai-Sung said. He tried to sound brave. They stood in an underground test room. At the far end was a machine that would fire a rubber ball at high speed. "Ready?" Mei-Jin asked from behind a safety wall. Tai-Sung nodded. He pressed the button on his wrist device. The same blue glow formed around him, but fainter than before. "Fire," Mei-Jin ordered. The machine launched the ball. It flew straight at Tai-Sung's chest. He closed his eyes. No impact came. When he opened his eyes, the ball was floating in front of him, caught in the shield's field. The room erupted in cheers. Hejun punched the air. Ju-Rai hugged Tai-Sung. Even Mei-Jin smiled. "This is just the beginning," Mei-Jin said. "With this technology, we can build ships. We can leave Earth. We can meet the Galactic Council as equals, not as a primitive species." Tai-Sung felt both excited and afraid. "We need to be careful. If we use this wrong." "We won't," Mei-Jin said firmly. "But we will be ready. Project Dawn is now Earth's top priority." As they celebrated, none of them noticed the small communication device blinking in the corner. Koldar was watching. His plan was working perfectly. 6 months passed. On a clear night, Tai-Sung stood outside the lab and looked up at the stars. So much had changed. "Beautiful, aren't they?" Ju-Rai said, joining him. "And to think, there are people out there. Whole civilizations. And soon we'll meet them," Tai-Sung said. Inside the huge underground base, humans had built something that would have seemed impossible a year ago. 3 spaceships. Not like the old rockets from NASA or other space agencies. These were real ships with the alien shield technology built into them. "Dr. Tai-Sung, Dr. Ju-Rai," the voice called. "They're ready for the final briefing." They walked through long tunnels to a large meeting room. Inside sat 30 people, scientists, military officers, and government officials from 12 countries. Earth's secret space program had grown beyond just South Korea. At the front of the room stood Commander Sungmin. He wore a new type of uniform, dark blue with silver trim. The patch on his shoulder showed Earth with stars around it. "Tomorrow, we make history," Sungmin said. "The first human diplomatic mission to deep space. On a large screen behind him, pictures of 3 ships appeared. They were sleek and silver, shaped like arrowheads. "The flagship is Dawn," Sung Min continued. "I will command it. Our mission is to travel to Europa, where our scans have detected an alien mining operation." Colonel Mijin, now Admiral Mijin, stood up. "Remember, this is a peaceful mission. We want to establish contact, not start a war. But if attacked, our ships can defend themselves." Hejun raised his hand. "The shield technology is fully tested, but the weapons are still new. Use them only if you have no choice." The meeting went on for 2 more hours. Plans were discussed, questions answered. By the end, everyone felt the weight of what was about to happen. The next day, Tai Sung, Ju Rei, Admiral Meijin, and many others watched from the control room as the 3 ships rose from hidden launch bays in the mountains. They made no sound, leaving no trail of fire like old rockets. The alien technology let them slip into space almost magically. "Good luck," Tai Sung whispered. 5 days later, the ships reached Europa, one of Jupiter's moons. From the Bridge of the Dawn, Commander Sung Min looked at the massive mining machines on the icy surface. "Alien structures confirmed," his science officer reported. "They're pulling something from under the ice." "Any signs they've seen us?" Sung Min asked. "No, sir. Our cloaking field is." "Wait." The officer looked at his screen with worry. "Something's happening. They're powering up some kind of scanner." A bright beam shot out from the largest alien structure. It swept across space and touched the Dawn. "They found us," Sung Min said calmly. "Drop the cloak. Open communications." On the main screen, an alien face appeared. It had 4 eyes and greenish skin. It made clicking sounds before speaking in broken English. "Human ship, you not allowed here. This zone forbidden. I am Commander Sung Min from Earth," Sung Min said clearly. "We come in peace to establish diplomatic relations." The alien's 4 eyes blinked rapidly. "Impossible. Humans no have space travel. No have shield technology." "As you can see," Sung Min said with a small smile, "we do now." The alien disappeared from the screen. Moments later, a small ship rose from Europa's surface and shot away at incredible speed. "They're running to tell others," Sung Min's second-in-command said. Sung Min nodded. "And so it begins. The Galactic Council will know about us soon. There's no going back now." Back on Earth, in the control room, a light blinked on a console, showing that the alien had left Europa. "It's done," Admiral Meijin said. "Now we prepare for what comes next." Far away, on a giant space station shaped like a ring, the Galactic Council met. The room was huge and round. 32 seats formed a circle, one for each alien species in the Council. High Arbiter Zix, the leader of the Council, stood in the center. Zix was tall with silver skin that shimmered in the light. 4 long arms moved gracefully as Zix spoke. "We have an emergency," Zix announced. "The humans of Earth have left their planet." The room filled with shocked voices. Some aliens stood up. Others made angry sounds. In one corner, a being who looked almost human watched carefully. This was Jinwoo, secretly a human who had been altered to look like an alien. For 10 years, he had lived among them, gathering information for Earth. No one knew his true identity. "Impossible," shouted one council member, a large insect-like creature. "Humans are primitive. They have no space travel technology." A greenish alien with 4 eyes stepped forward. This was the HFY ambassador. "My people saw them at Europa. Their ships had shield technology beyond even our understanding." More shocked voices filled the room. "Silence," commanded Zix. All voices stopped. "We must discuss this calmly. Humans were not expected to reach this level for at least 200 more years." Jinwoo listened carefully. He needed to report everything to Earth. "Could they have been helped?" asked a small floating alien made of light. "Could another species have given them technology?" Zix nodded slowly. That is our main concern. Giving technology to developing worlds is forbidden by our oldest laws. The HFY ambassador clicked angrily. They must be stopped now. If humans leave their solar system with this technology, they could upset the balance of power. Jinwu knew humans were already planning to go beyond their solar system. Earth now had 15 ships, all built with Koldar's technology. What do we know about their ships? Asked a bird-like alien with bright feathers. A hologram appeared in the center of the room. It showed the Dawn, the human ship that visited Europa. Their ships use an advanced form of shield technology, explained a robot-like being. It can bend light, stop weapons, and possibly even affect time itself. The council members looked worried. Some of them didn't even have this level of technology. Where did they get it? Demanded the insect alien. Humans could not develop this on their own. We don't know, Six admitted. That is why we must send a delegation to Earth immediately. We must find out how they got this technology and stop them from using it further. Jinwu touched a small device on his wrist. It sent a silent message to Earth. Council sending delegation. Preparing to demand technology surrender. I will lead this delegation, the HFY ambassador declared. My people discovered them. We should handle this. No, Zix said firmly. Ambassador Lorne will lead. He is known for being diplomatic. A blue-skinned alien with white hair nodded. This was Lorne, known for solving problems without violence. We leave tomorrow, Lorne said. I will speak with these humans and explain our concerns. Perhaps they will listen to reason. The meeting ended. The aliens left the room. Jinwu stayed behind, pretending to study some papers. When everyone was gone, he sent another message to Earth. Delegation coming, led by Lorne. Peaceful approach likely, but Council fears human technology. Earth has 1 week to prepare. On Earth, Admiral Meijin received Jinwu's messages. She called an emergency meeting. The Council knows. She told Earth's leaders. They're coming to us. We need to be ready. Taesung looked worried. Ready for what? War? Ready to show them. Meijin said that humans are not to be underestimated anymore. Earth got ready. For 1 week, military forces from all countries worked together. They moved ships into space. They prepared weapons. They practiced what to say. Taesung now had a new job. He was Earth's chief diplomat for meeting aliens. He didn't want the job, but he knew the alien technology better than anyone else. They're here, Admiral Meijin announced. On the main screen in Earth's command center, a large alien ship appeared. It was coming toward Earth. It was shaped like a disk with glowing rings around it. It was much bigger than any human ship. Any messages from them? Taesung asked. Not yet, said the communications officer. But they can probably see our defense fleet. Earth now had 50 ships in space. All were built with the shield technology from Koldar. They formed a line between Earth and the approaching alien ship. They're sending a message, the officer said. On the screen, Ambassador Lorne appeared. His blue skin and white hair looked strange to human eyes. He spoke in perfect English. People of Earth, I am Ambassador Lorne of the Galactic Council. I come to discuss your sudden technological advancement. Please allow our ship to approach your planet. Admiral Meijin looked at Taesung. Your call, Chief Diplomat. Taesung took a deep breath. Tell them they can approach, but only with 2 smaller ships. The main ship must stay beyond the moon. The message was sent. There was a long pause. They've agreed, the officer said, sounding surprised. 2 hours later, Taesung stood in a large meeting room. With him were Admiral Meijin, Ju Rei, He Jun, and leaders from Earth's major countries. They waited for the aliens. The door opened. Ambassador Lorne entered with 6 other aliens of different species. They all stopped and looked around, clearly surprised by what they saw. You expected primitive humans, didn't you? Admiral Meijin said. Lorne recovered quickly. We expected humans who know the rules of the galaxy. Developing worlds are not allowed to have advanced technology. We didn't know these rules, Tae-sung said calmly. No one told us. Ignorance is not an excuse, said one of the aliens, a tall insect-like creature. You have technology you should not have. You must surrender it immediately. The room grew tense. Earth's leaders looked angry. We will not surrender anything, Tae-sung said. The technology is ours now. Lorne stepped forward. You don't understand. This technology upsets the balance of the council. It could lead to war. Where did you get it? Tae-sung considered whether to mention Koldar. Before he could decide, a voice spoke from the doorway. They got it from me. Everyone turned. A hologram of Koldar stood there, his strange alien face calm. A Voidwalker, gasped one of the council aliens. Impossible. Nothing is impossible, Koldar said. I gave humans the technology because they deserved it. Your council has kept them isolated for too long. Lorne looked shocked. You broke our most sacred law. Your law, not mine, Koldar said. My people never agreed with keeping developing worlds in the dark. Another figure stepped into the room. It was Jinwoo, still looking like an alien. The council has been watching Earth for centuries, Jinwoo said. But Earth has been watching back. Jinwoo touched his face. His alien features melted away, revealing his human face. The council members gasped. A human spy. The insect alien said, This is outrageous. Admiral Meijin stepped forward. We know all about the council's plans for Earth. We know you wanted to keep us weak. Those days are over. Lorne looked from Jinwoo to Koldar to the humans. For the first time, the ambassador looked afraid. What do you want? Lorne asked quietly. Tae-sung smiled. A seat at the table, equal treatment for Earth, and recognition that we are no longer a developing world. The council will never agree, Lorne said. Then perhaps, Admiral Meijin said coldly, it's time for a demonstration of what humans can do. The meeting room was silent. Ambassador Lorne and the other aliens looked worried. Admiral Meijin's words hung in the air, a demonstration of what humans could do. Follow me, Meijin said. She led everyone to a larger room with big screens on the walls. Watch and learn what Earth is now capable of. On the main screen, they could see the large council ship waiting beyond the moon. Around it were 5 smaller alien ships. Those ships think they are safe, Meijin said. They think humans are still weak. She nodded to Hojun. He pressed some buttons on a control panel. On the screen, 3 human ships appeared near the alien fleet. They had been invisible until now. Impossible, the insect alien said. Our sensors would have detected them. Not with our cloaking technology. Hojun explained. We can hide from any sensors you have. Meijin spoke into a microphone. Dawn Squadron, proceed with demonstration. The 3 human ships moved closer to the alien fleet. The alien ships started to turn, preparing their weapons. They're going to fire, Juri said. Good, Meijin replied. Let them. On the screen, bright energy beams shot out from the alien ships toward the human vessels. The beams hit the human ship's shields and stopped. The shields glowed blue, but held strong. First part of demonstration complete, Meijin said. Your weapons cannot harm our ships. The council aliens looked shocked. Lorne's blue face had turned pale. Now for part 2, Meijin continued. Hojun, show them the new weapons. Hojun pressed more buttons. The human ships sent out pulses of blue energy. When these pulses touched the alien ships froze in space. They couldn't move or fire weapons. What did you do to them? Lorne asked, his voice shaking. Time field weapons, Hojun explained, based on the shield technology. They don't destroy your ships. They just make time move very slowly inside them. For the aliens on those ships, Only seconds will pass while hours go by for us. We could destroy your ships, Mi Jin said. But we choose not to. Unlike what your council believes, humans are not just violent creatures. We can show mercy. Tae-sung stepped forward. We don't want war, Ambassador Lorne. We want recognition. We want to join the galactic community as equals. Koldar's hologram moved to the center of the room. The Council has kept many worlds isolated, not just Earth. You fear what you don't control. You have no right to interfere, the insect alien said to Koldar. The Voidwalkers promised not to meddle in Council affairs. We promised to observe, Koldar corrected. And we have observed the Council become corrupt and fearful. It was time for change. Jinmu walked to stand beside Tae-sung. I have lived among you for 10 years. I know the Council keeps many secrets. You've hidden technology from lesser species. You've divided the galaxy to maintain your power. What do humans want? Lorne asked finally. He seemed to understand that his position was weak. Tae-sung handed him a tablet. These are our terms. Earth wants a seat on the Council. We want free travel rights through Council space, and we want the isolation policy ended for all developing worlds. Lorne looked at the tablet, then at the screen showing his helpless ships. The Council will not easily accept these terms. Then the Council will have to change. Mi Jin said firmly. Hajun, release their ships. Hajun pressed a button. On the screen, the alien ships began to move again, very slowly. They'll be back to normal in 1 hour, Hajun explained. Go back to the Council, Ambassador Lorne, Tae-sung said. Tell them what you've seen here. Tell them humans are ready to be friends or enemies. The choice is theirs. Lorne looked at each human in the room. For the first time, he seemed to see them as equals, not as primitives. I will tell them, he said. But be prepared. Not all Council members will accept change so easily. We're counting on it, Mi Jin said with a small smile. Humans have always loved a good challenge. News spread fast across the galaxy. The story of Earth's sudden rise to power reached every corner of Council space. How humans, thought to be primitive, now had technology that could challenge the Council itself. On the Council's ring station, an emergency meeting was called. All 32 Council members attended. The mood was tense. This is unacceptable, shouted the HFY ambassador, his 4 eyes blinking rapidly. Humans must be stopped before they spread their influence. With what army? Asked another member, a small floating ball of light. Did you not see what their ships did to Ambassador Lorne's fleet? They froze them in time. High Arbiter Zix raised all 4 hands for silence. We must think carefully. The situation has changed. Humans have powerful allies in the Voidwalkers. The Voidwalkers have broken our oldest law, said the insect ambassador. They gave advanced technology to a developing world. A new voice spoke. Perhaps that law was wrong all along. Everyone turned. A small delegation had entered the Council chamber. Tae-sung led the group, with Jinwoo and Admiral Mi Jin beside him. They wore formal Earth uniforms. How dare you enter this chamber uninvited? The HFY ambassador shouted. We invited them, said a Council member who had been silent until now. This was Ambassador Lorne. After what I saw on Earth, it's clear we must talk. The Council chamber erupted in angry voices. Some members demanded the humans leave. Others wanted to hear them speak. Meanwhile, far from the Council station, other things were happening. On 7 planets, people were rising up against their rulers. These were worlds that the Council had called developing. They had been kept isolated, just like Earth. On one of these worlds, a leader spoke to his people. The humans have shown us the way. The Council has kept us down for too long. Juri was there, meeting with these leaders. Earth had sent her as a representative. Earth will support your right to join the galaxy as equals, she told them. Back at the Council chamber, Tae-sung spoke calmly. The old ways are ending. Earth is not alone in wanting change. He showed them images of the 7 worlds in revolt. The council members looked shocked. "What have you done?" High Arbiter Zix asked. "We did nothing," Taesung said. "Your council did this by keeping worlds isolated and afraid. People want freedom. They want to grow." Ambassador Lorne stood up. "I have seen Earth. I have seen their technology. But more importantly, I have seen their restraint. They could have destroyed our ships. They chose not to." The council chamber grew quieter. Some members were listening now. "The humans have terms," Lorne continued. "They want a seat on this council. They want freedom for all developing worlds to advance at their own pace." "Impossible," the HFY ambassador said. "If every primitive world joins the council, there will be chaos." Jin Wu stepped forward. "There is already chaos. The difference is whether you work with us to create a new order or watch the old one fall apart." High Arbiter Zix studied the humans carefully. "You have caused much trouble in a short time." "We learned from the best," Admiral Meijin said with a small smile. "Your own history shows the council was formed after a great war. Perhaps it's time for the council to change again." The council broke into groups, arguing among themselves. Some wanted war with Earth. Others wanted to negotiate. Still others wanted to learn more about the human technology. On his ship orbiting the station, Koldar watched with satisfaction. His plan was working even better than he had hoped. The rigid council was breaking apart. New alliances were forming. "The seeds of change have been planted," he said to himself. "Now we watch them grow." Back on Earth, Ho-Jun worked day and night on new technology. The shield generators were just the beginning. With the principles he had learned from Koldar's designs, he was building things no human had dreamed possible. The galaxy was changing, and humans were at the center of it all. 1 year passed. The galaxy had changed forever. On the rebuilt council station, a new meeting began. The room was larger now. Instead of 32 seats, there were 45. Earth had a seat. So did the 7 worlds that had risen up with Earth's help. Taesung sat in Earth's seat. He wore formal clothes with Earth's new symbol, a blue planet with silver stars around it. Jin Wu stood behind him as his advisor. High Arbiter Zix was gone. In his place was a new leader chosen by all council members. The council was different now, more open, more fair. "The first year of the new council has been successful," said the new leader. "Trade has increased between all worlds. Knowledge is being shared. Old enemies are talking to each other." Taesung looked around the room. Some of the old council members still didn't trust humans. The HFY ambassador rarely spoke to him, but others had become strong allies. Ambassador Lorne caught Taesung's eye and nodded respectfully. They had worked together to create the new rules that all worlds now followed. On a distant planet, Jurai led a team of scientists from 20 different species. They studied the shield technology and found new ways to use it, not for weapons, but for medicine, for travel, for building. "The time field can be used to grow food faster," Juri explained to her team. "It can heal injuries by speeding up the body's natural healing." In space, Admiral Meijin commanded a new type of fleet. Ships from Earth and other worlds worked together to keep peace. They stopped pirates. They helped planets in trouble. They showed that the galaxy could work together. "Your orders, Admiral," asked her second in command. "Set course for the Torre border," Meijin said. "They've reported strange ships in their space. We'll help them investigate." Even the Kirai had started to accept humans, though slowly. Back on Earth, Ho-Jun stood in his lab, looking at his newest invention. It was small and round, fitting in the palm of his hand. "Will it work?" asked a young assistant. "In theory, yes," Ho-Jun said. "This device should allow us to create stable wormholes. If it works, we can travel anywhere in the galaxy in minutes instead of weeks." The technology from Koldar had been just the beginning. Humans had taken it and improved it in ways no one expected. On the edges of council space, Koldar met with his people, the Voidwalkers. They rarely showed themselves to other species. They preferred to watch from the shadows. "The humans have done well," said one of the Voidwalkers. "Better than we expected. They have changed the galaxy in just 1 year." Koldar agreed. "Imagine what they will do in 10 years. In 100. Was it wise to give them so much power?" asked another Voidwalker. Koldar looked out at the stars. The old council was becoming corrupt. They kept too many worlds down. The galaxy needed change. "And now?" the other asked. "Now we watch, we observe, as we always have." In the council chamber, the meeting was ending. Taesung prepared to return to Earth for a short visit. He had not been home in 3 months. Jinwoo walked with him to their ship. "Did you ever imagine this?" he asked. 1 year ago, humans didn't even know aliens existed. Now we help run the galaxy." Taesung smiled. "We still have so much to learn, but we also have much to teach." Their ship rose from the station and headed for Earth. Far below, on a small planet that had once been kept isolated by the old council, children played in a village square. Above them hung a screen showing ships from many worlds flying together. Among them were human ships. One child pointed up. "When I grow up, I'm going to visit Earth," he said. "I want to meet the humans who changed everything." His friend nodded. "My parents say we're free because of them." The galaxy had feared humans would bring war. Instead, they had brought hope, and that was just the beginning.